Why?
I don't know, because I always enjoyed competing very, very much, and it's something, even though you're still competing as a coach, it's still not really or exactly the same feeling. But the more I do it, the more natural it feels to me.
Back like 3 years ago or more, Kuroki asked me if I'd like to coach. I told him I don't know what to do, and he said just do what you think is good. And over the years, I kind of developed my own style.
我觉得应该是在 TI7的那个契机吧。当时我本来还是一个选手，但是很遗憾 TI 差一步没进去。然后之后就接收到了好友 Bernie 的邀请，然后就去了 IG 做教练。然后在短短1个月的时间里，我觉得做教练很不错。从一个教练的这样一个角度跟身份去更能看清这些大局跟战术上的东西，所以也是从 TI7之后我就决定做教练了。 发挥自己更擅长的东西。
What do you think it takes to be a successful coach throughout TI?
TI is crazy tournament where anything can happen, and I just think it's so important that you stay composed, that you stay true to your own identity as a team, and believe in your strategies, you know.
因为从历届的比赛或者从历届的 CI 来看，其实有很多的王者，最终的冠军，他们其实一开始的路并不顺，就像 TI7的Liquid 一样。 他们是从甚至第一轮就掉到了败者组，但是呢，他们一路越打状态越好，越打信心越足，一路过关斩将，最终从败者组杀上来，夺得了冠军。我觉得作为教练，或者说一个队伍里面的队长的话，我觉得都要有这样的作用，能领导一个队伍。
Can you each say one thing that you admire about the other two people on this couch, as far as either as a player or as a leader?
I mean, I think that for him, the impression I got from him coaching Liquid was always a very, very positive one. But seeing you be coaching TNC has actually made me respect you a lot more, because I think that after you join the team, I feel like they look like a team, and I feel like that's the coach's job. For TK, I would say I respect him immensely. I've known him for a long time. I've played against him. He really looks like he fits that role, and he looks responsible for all his boys, you know. But also, I think that in the beginning when I was starting to coach, he even gave me some nice supportive words, and that really inspired me.
What did he say?
I mean, I can't really,
you
know, these are personal things. Nah, but you know, it's reminded you to focus on the important things, and then reminded you that what you have to do to help these young players perform, and the rest of it is personal between us, but
I respect
it's my boy.
For me, I don't know where to start. Actually, I feel like very outclassed here, sitting between like two legends. For Loda, actually, he was Alliance was the first team I watched. I was absent for the first two TIs because of the military, and I remember thinking that the Dota I was watching was so beautiful at the time. He was like one of the players that captivated me when I first switched to Dota 2, and I've heard him speak like outside of tournaments to his team, and he was very more emotional than me. Like he had a lot of motivational speech type of guy. I'm very mellow in terms of that, so that's something I'd like to learn from him. And for our TK, it's always been, he always does something magical to the team. Like we always say, we know he's a man behind this power that's driving this team forward.
我觉得首先很简单嘛，今天坐在这的3个人当中，我是唯一一个没有冠军头衔的人，然后对他们2个的尊敬自然就不用说了。我觉得就是这一份荣誉，我已经渴望他，可能渴望了有个8、9、10年了吧。就是老大的话，我觉得今年他能把队伍带进 TI 已经非常非常的不容易了，因为我跟他的关系很好。老大他其实之前就是受伤很严重，但是呢，他还是心系队伍，还是会经常在队伍里去探班。这种精神吧，我觉得很鼓舞大家。像现在 TNC 的教练Hen 的话，我们中国水友有句话叫做，就说 TNC 那个教练啊，Hen 有东西，就大概用他这个 ID， 然后来说他这个人作为一个教练很有东西。任何一个冠军团队里的每一个人，我觉得他必然都是有他的作用的。在这一方面，我觉得我是晚辈，我要多学习。
Thank you. It's really fascinating to hear, and it's fun for me and hopefully for people who watch to kind of see the brotherhood that exists and the respect, even though you're on different teams. So, thank you. And shishi.
Thank you.
What do you think it takes
Loda, Heen, ROTK, three of a group of people who understand from both a coach's perspective and a player's perspective. And ROTK, more than anything, has a lot that he is putting on the line today in particular.
Oh, man. And one of the great coaches left, and just a great guy, too. When we were filming that Vici skit, he was jumping all over the place, screaming at his teammates. The guy's a psychopath, but a good kind of psychopath, one that wins games, Casey. Now, I got a question for you, if you don't mind. You have talked to the most brilliant minds in all of Dota since forever, since TI3. Mostly all the best Dota knowledge could be locked in that brain. You've heard so much from them. What makes the best Dota players in your mind?
That's a really good question. And I shall answer it. Honestly, the ones who are the best are the ones who understand the concept of playing as a team, the ones who communicate well, and the ones who are really good at being in the moment and adapting to failure.
Well, you know who that reminds me of? ROTK. Let's go, Vici. Full, non-bias. Let's go.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Casey and Jake, and also to the three legends that we had in that particular video. All three. I'd come to you first, Jack, because I'm sure you identify with some of the things that they were talking about.
Even more, because we got to experience firsthand the ROTK coaching at some point last season. So this was the early days of VGJ Storm. We made MDL Macau, which was our first LAN. And, since we were like with VG, we're like, hey, ROTK's here. Can we get his insight and his wisdom for a day? So he comes into the room. He watches some of our replays. We had a rough day one. He's like stroking his beard and just thinking about stuff. And then all of a sudden it just starts. He's like, oh, this fight, you had 10K net worth, but you saved 4,000 gold, so you're really fighting at 6. He just goes back and forth. And he does it with such an energy and a spirit. It's very clear and concise. At the same time, it's very uplifting. It's like, hey, these are the issues. These two supports can't be together, whatever it is. And then by the time that he's done, the whole room, the atmosphere in the room is just different. It's like, yeah, like we're unstoppable now. Like we got this. The next day, we went 0-4, unfortunately. But the measure of
Jack, that's not a good story. It's supposed to have been more positive than that.
It's not on him. And in fact, he takes a lot of the pressure and blame off his team because you go on Weibo or whatever and you flame the drafts. Or, you know how much flack people get for drafts. He's like, all right, sure, bring it all on me. Don't put it on the players. So that's just the amount of spirit and charisma that he has, plus the depth of knowledge of the game. He's a great coach.
Yeah, absolutely. We should take a look at the brackets and bring you right up to speed as to where we are, because just 5 teams are left in with a shout here at the International 2019. In the upper bracket, LGD and OG face off again. Yeah, I know, don't worry, you're not in a time machine. This isn't 2018. It is exactly the same upper bracket final as we had last season. PSG LGD versus OG. Unfortunately, Vici and EG slipped down to the lower bracket, where EG were removed from the tournament. No third place for them this year. Instead of 5th, 6th finish for them. Again, the most successful organization at the International all time. Liquid coming through with 7 straight wins in that lower bracket. They await the winners of Vici and Secret, which will be our first game of the day. We've also got the OG PSG LGD game and Liquid versus either Secret or Vici today. Gods, every day just gets better and better.
Really does. I think everyone's going to be looking at OG LGD rematch. It's just such a classic, but there's something always special when elimination's on the line. And that's where those other 2 series, I think, is where you really look for fireworks. OG LGD is going to be some of the best Dota of the tournament, but the other ones, that's going to be where it's do or die.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just preview LGD versus OG. You guys have played OG. There's the famous, now what's become the infamous first OKGG moment of the first game. It kind of, we were all sat there going, that's exactly how we feel. We're only watching.
I guess I can say this now, but one of the reasons we were pretty confident coming in is because we played OG like 4 times before TI, and we did extremely well. The games were, and then we're like, okay, we're kind of not sure. Like maybe they're hiding something a little bit. Maybe they're just testing some things out. But they're a pretty good team, so we were confident, right? And then we face them, when the matches matter, and it's a totally different team. And this team is it's one of those, it's just very scary because they stick to their own things. They stick to their own ideas. And then it's kind of it's almost like sometimes like, I don't care what you pick or what you're going to play against us. We just believe in us. And it's a psychological edge as well as a gameplay edge. It's like, oh, what do we ban against them? Or how do we deal with this? And then for them, their mid player, Thompson, is just one of the most unique players in the scene. Like his hero pool and his understanding of how to play those heroes is just radically different from everyone else. He's just got his own beat. The whole team has their own beat, and they just play so well to it. It's a very scary team to face.
Do you feel like, in a way, PSG LGD versus OG is the perfect upper bracket final because of the way that both teams are playing and because of what happened last year?
Yeah, I think, given the storylines, like given where we are, given the shot at redemption, given the, hey, we'd like to avoid having to play lower and upper bracket on the same day, maybe we'll be able to beat them this time. Yeah, absolutely, and for the home crowd especially, this is what they wanted, and Anna has reached a status among the fans here that's, usually there's like this god, that god, and Anna is just the god, is just god at this point. Yeah,
he's a god now, it's like dash god.
It's like he took some time off and then he felt like playing Dota, so he just put Anna back in there and just comes out of vacation to just own everyone. So
yeah. It's crazy. Talk about gods. You're Australian. You must have a lot of pride. The fact that you've got a TI winner. Not many countries have one of those. What's he like in Australia? Because he always feels like very down to earth. I talk to him a lot. He's just a chill kid. He's fine. He's having a ball. He's having to enjoy it. But he seems really mellow. He's quite calm about stuff. He doesn't really get head up about winning TI even.
No, he's kind of cocky, but he doesn't have that big ego. He is that kind of just chill kid who just he's soft-spoken, just wants to, hang out with his friends when he's back in Australia. He doesn't want to do anything big or grand, and he's just a really great guy. And it's so good to see him successful again. I don't know how he's so freaking good at Dota. When he goes home to Australia, he's literally just playing party queue with 3K MMR friends and just clowning around, playing carry IO. I guess that's why he's so good, because he gets to play in a bracket where he can figure out stuff like carry IO, and hey, he makes it work.
Yeah. Jack mentioned Thompson as well. He's an exceptional talent, isn't he, Lacoste? And as Jack pointed out, super different.
Oh, for sure. Thompson, as you said, Jack said, that guy has some really different heroes that he's been playing on mid. His approach to the game, like how fast can you adapt to what he's doing? Sometimes you see him between tier 1 and tier 2 tower 5 minutes in, like, do we rotate the supports? Like, it's just chaotic Dota that you need to make a decision in a couple of seconds. Whether do we go or not? Is it going to cost us the early game? It's really hard to play against him.
Who do you think Liquid are sitting there, gods, wishing they played? Do you feel like they might have a preference for playing one or the other, Secret or Vici?
I don't think there's any clear one they'd prefer to play.
They're both tough teams.
Yeah,
they both had great seasons. So
now we're in the top 6. Everyone's so tough. I think maybe playing Vici in front of the Chinese crowd, that's a little intimidating. So you take away the crowd, maybe get the crowd on your side if you're playing against Secret. But end of the day, I think Liquid's going to feel like we're just going to beat whoever comes our way.
How hard is it, do you think, for them to wait and find out who they're going to play? Because EG did that yesterday. It didn't work for them. I felt like Liquid, the middle series yesterday helped Liquid in some way, that it was quick because it allowed Liquid to kind of carry on their momentum from the morning.
Yeah, momentum's always great when you're playing a TI. As long as you're not playing too much Dota too long. That's the LGD last year, playing 8 games in one day.
Yeah.
I think for Liquid, you had a 2-0. Yeah, it was a very stressful game too. Nice little break to decompress, but not a long break. It's when you have to play a series, have a long break, you get tired, you get sleepy, you're just sitting around eating, trying to drink your energy drinks, whatever, and then you play. But no, they had a nice short break, got back on the stage. Quick 4-0 day for them, really.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to get into Secret versus Vici shortly. Jack, I wanted to talk about pressure. We've been talking about it a lot on the panel. Pressure on Chinese teams playing in China. We've often said, haven't we, they don't necessarily perform that well. They don't win tournaments in China when they're here. This is huge. They've got to win this one.
Yeah, just to talk about some of the back. Again, you go to like any PC cafe or whatever, you still see people playing Dota 1. Like, they're saying kind of Dota is like a way of life or a religion. Like once you're committed, you're committed to it. So to have that kind of legacy going back generations, all these stars, the professional scene that's been here and been mature and grown for a while, you're following in those footsteps and you're representing your country that has done so well traditionally at TI. There's definitely a lot of pressure that's there. Some people are better at kind of just tuning that out, not really thinking about it. But for others, it can affect you, whether it's the discussion, whether it's people might even come and say stuff about your family and things like that. If you do well, it's very difficult for some to deal with.
Blimey. So, was it Arme getting mobbed in the cafe yesterday because we were in the hotel and a load of fans somehow got in as a segment? They just mobbed him while he was queuing for food.
They're all superstars,
They're crazy out here.
Yeah, the fans love Dota.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's been an absolutely immense pleasure and privilege to have you on here as well to talk about that kind of stuff, because you're just so in touch with the communities. We love you, Jay. It's great. We're ready, ladies and gentlemen, to get into our first game of the day. And our first team of the day to introduce you is going to be Team Secret. Puppy leading the way.